Congo has been at war for decades. Cities have fallen, armies have moved, leaders have been absent, and millions of people have been caught in the crossfire. This is not a new story. It is the same war that has ravaged Congo for generations. A war over power, over land, over minerals, which are worth trillions of dollars. But now it has escalated. In the past few weeks, we have seen Ugandan troops entering Congo. In the province of Ituri, the Ugandan army entered Bunia. Officials claimed they were there to stop the massacre by militias. Uganda's General Muhoozi made the announcement himself. He had promised actions and he has followed through. But the Ugandan troops in Congo, it was a familiar sight. Too familiar. For years, Uganda had fought in eastern Congo, sometimes as a friend, sometimes as a force of occupation. Now they are back again. Would this bring peace, or was this just another move in the Great Lakes of power struggles? Meanwhile, the M23 rebel group continued its advances in South Kivu. They took Bukavu. The governor residents fell into their hands, and they did not just occupy the city, they began governing that city. They issued some new rules in the city, which stated that all remaining soldiers had to surrender their weapons. The people were instructed to resume their daily lives. On M23 declared their presence permanent in the city. A wide city-wide cleanup was ordered for Thursday, which is mandatory for all residents. This was a show of force, a demonstration of power, a signal that M23 was no longer just a rebel group, but they rule the city now. As M23 strengthened its grip, we have seen some international pressure mounted at calling for Rwanda aid freeze. In Brussels, European lawmakers called for sanctions. They pushed for a freeze of all aid to Rwanda, accusing Kigali of backing M23. They demanded that Rwanda cut ties with their rebels. They wanted the military assistance suspended. They proposed halting critical mineral agreements with Rwanda. For Rwanda, this was a serious threat. The economy depended on international funding. If the EU followed through, Kigali would feel the impact. But would those warnings turn into concrete action? Or would Rwanda continue its involvement despite the international pressure? As this crisis unfolded, one question remained. Where was President Felix Tshisekedi while all this is happening under his command? He was not in Kinshasa, not in Bukavu, not even in Goma, not even in Africa for some weeks. While Congo banned, the president was in Monaco, attending a security conference in Germany. He had skipped yet another African Union meeting, just as he had skipped the last East African Summit, just as he missed a major security meeting in Tanzania for SADC and East African Committee. As the M23 advanced, Congo leaders were absent, and in his absence, others seized control. Now Tshisekedi has returned back into Africa, but not to address the crisis at home. On Tuesday, February 18th, he was in Rwanda, Angola, at beside of his counterpart, João Lourenço. The Angolan president has been the key mediator between Congo and Rwanda in the Rwanda peace process. But now, Lourenço has stepped back to focus on his role as chair of the African Union. With his departure, who will lead the peace talks? With Uganda army in Congo, with M23 controlling Bukavu, with Rwanda under new scrutiny, and with Congo president absent from key diplomatic meetings, where does this war go next? The fall of Goma was a turning point. The capture of Bukavu was another. And now with Kavumu airport under M23 control, one city remains, Kinshasa. Would the Congolese government fight back, or would the next chapter of this war be written without them? This was Africa Eye View. Stay with us as we follow more developments that are happening at Congo.